I mean, at first it was awkward getting put in a car and being told you can't talk to anyone. But I mean, we were all laughing at different things. I feel like we were just breaking the tension. So I was with Becca, Justin, and William were my initial 3 that I was with. And then we did our challenge where it was trying to find what item to get, and I totally did a Survivor newbie thing and panicked, and I read the clue wrong, and so I said, okay, I think we can get a thing from each location versus only one thing in one location. So we got to one of the question mark items, which we didn't know what was actually in it. So it was definitely a gamble, but we decided to go ahead and go for it. So we went with the question mark thing. And we didn't get to find out what it was until camp, and it was oranges. So not ideal. So the other team came in totally glad. So when the other tribe came, the other 4 came in. They came in like heroes, carrying a tarp, and then saying they had a flint in their hand. So we lucked out. Yeah, I think we have a lot of really talkative people, and so I'm gonna let the talkers talk and kind of watch. So yeah, I mean, William does a podcast for his job, so he's great at talking and he's great at representing us. I mean, I guess I got to know mostly the people on the first 4, but I mean, I feel like everyone really jives really well. So I feel like we're hitting it off, and it's a sweet 8 for right now. Not for the first one. I feel like it was such a niche skill, and so that didn't hit a lot of like the puzzles or the agility or the strength. And so I think with just a niche thing of a board, it doesn't really tell what the whole tribe is gonna do as like all the other events unfold. And so if the other teams can feel cocky for a bit, that's fine with me. We'll just come out guns blazing. But I think, I mean, it starts off as the underdog, not getting a tarp or fire. So we'll just use it to our advantage.
It's been super cool. It's been pretty fun. I'm really enjoying the tribe, even though we didn't win the tarp or the fire. It's still pretty cool that we made our own fire. It's fun. I'm having a great time, honestly. Jason, William, and Gracie.
How are you with them in the opening challenge?
It seemed pretty, yeah, it felt good. We were the first group out of like when the 4 switched, and we got it done fairly quickly.
Yeah.
It felt good chemistry.
Now you're 18 or 19?
I'm 19. So I was really worried. Right now, no one seems to be looking at me differently. Everyone seems to be treating me pretty good. I'm feeling good. Definitely better than when I was thinking about it. I was like, oh no. But I'm feeling pretty good about it. I felt pretty good about William. I feel pretty good about Gracie. I didn't really get too many bad vibes from anyone so far, but I did feel really good about William. I feel that if we just communicate a lot, it would be pretty good. I honestly feel it benefited us to lose because it made us make a fire. And we had flint, we had tarp anyways, but we won't be cocky, I guess, tomorrow.
What kind of like perceives like your biggest asset to this tribe would be?
I would say probably like more critical, like fast thinking, just looking at things at a different angle, I guess. Yeah, more puzzle stuff, balance, and I'm pretty small with Gracie. Could definitely be thrown around if we need to be.
So I did just say, I mean, I'll probably say I know you because I just admitted that I played in season 4 because Jason said, I know you played season 4, I know you from Survivor dress, you know, because I have a yellow flag, but you've got the dress, and so we'll have the yellow alliance, the flag and the dress. So, you know, I figured I better be kind of upfront that I played, and I just said that I was called last night, that they had some cancellations, and it sounds like that's the same for Jason and Luke. So kind of everyone's thinking that everybody's equal right now. You know, we're all equal playing field, so I'm kind of happy about that. And everyone is just, you know, we're anxious to just chit-chat and talk. Yeah, you know what? I really got to bond with the 3 other guys, Luke and Louie and Justin, doing our trek. And yeah, we ended up last, but we persevered and got that combination and ended up with the flint and the tarp. So even though we just lost that last challenge, we still have a tarp. We made fire, and so I think we're okay. So bonded well. with those 3 guys right off the front. When I played back in, what was that, 2016, Kurt and I started off together, Kurt Connor, and he's my buddy for life. We canoed out and we waded. So we didn't get to really bond till later in,
Bigger tribe, you mean?
yeah. So, different experiences, but so far so good. I'm happy with the group. Doesn't seem like anybody's really annoying yet. So there was some dynamics there in 2016 that split the tribe a little bit. I really like Luke and Louie. I think they're great. I think Willem's going to be great. Jason, I'm going to wait and see. He's Survivor fanatic. I know he's said he's been to, I think, 25 casting calls and 16 states. And it's like, wow, that's really gung-ho. So, but you know what? I'm just going to be open to everybody and hear what they have to say, because I'm the oldest and I know I'm not the fittest. So, I want to do what I can not to lose in the first part, and then turn it on. I've told these guys I want to make the merger. My husband won't date me, and but then when it's more of an individual game, But I was tied to an alliance, and that turned their back on me, and that was so Sarge and Kelly and Kurt had an alliance, and then Dan and Maria and I did. And Sarge got Maria to flip because he said, if you don't vote with us, we'll vote you out next. So I feel like I locked myself in to a corner. I wasn't so open for multiple alliances. There was opportunities with Ariel and Dan. So there's opportunities there. And I relied on, I was comfortable with the alliance I had, and that's what got me voted out. So I want to be more of an open player and be open to, moving around and having discussions and not feel like I have to have a ride or die.
Last year I was a volunteer, so I got to see this from behind the scenes, which is great. Because going into it without seeing that, I would be lost. And I had some advice from people. Anyway, that being said, I'm going to try and play it like lower key going in. I don't want to be the take charge guy and say, this is what I'm doing, and oh, you have to follow me, because those kind of people just, piss people off, and it doesn't work. And then I'll just be kind of a worker bee that's on the side, listening to people, seeing how I want to eventually play player A versus player B, which at this point I'm just staying on the outside listening and waiting for people to come more to me than I'm going to them. Will is talking an awful lot right now, which is good and bad, because he's burned a couple of disclosures from people, we'll say. Well, he burned Donna, saying that she was in the 4th season of this, and so when he said that, I had to burn my own, which I wasn't planning on doing this early in the game. I was
How much yours?
I'm sorry, that I was a volunteer, and that I have seen some of the other players. Like, I also know Will because he was a volunteer last year. I know.
Talk about that?
Not completely. So we know, but we haven't had the discussion about it. But yeah, there's a lot that I'm trying to just piece, and like, I don't want to play this person versus that person. I want to make a bond with this person and make a bond with that one, and then put them together or against each other, we'll say, and find out who would fill in around me. I think Becca and Gracie are both kind of followers, so I haven't gone and pushed myself to them, but I think Donna may have taken them to the bathroom and talked with them, so I'm gonna try and work a little bit with Donna, probably more than Will, and use that as a back door. So, and then if Will and Donna are oil and water, then they're gonna be pushing against each other, and one of them's got to go, and it won't be me. I think Will right now, because he's a stronger player in the game. He knows more. Donna has played the game before, so I'd like to use her as a resource because Will hasn't really played, so he's just volunteered a lot. So it's kind of a different side of a coin. So I want to get the one side that I haven't seen or been on yet. I flipped what I said, probably. I personally would probably want to work with Donna, but at the same time, if it's a challenge thing, she's going to bring our tribe down. So I'm going to have to, play that card too, because once we lose like 3 challenges, somebody's going to really be on the block, and I don't want it to be me.
Yeah, so first impressions, obviously my group got off to a slow start. We had a lot of challenges with the map and trying to figure out where to go and what to do, but in the end it kind of actually worked. We were the yellow group, so it was Donna, Louie, Luke, and I. And no one was really taking the lead, and then kind of everybody had a chance with the map, but no one was really kind of getting it. But actually ended up working out in the end because we got to the tarp and flint box and nobody had gotten there yet, and there wasn't like a time limit, thank God. So slow and steady won the race, I guess, because we ended up with that stuff, which is good because we didn't win the challenge. So now, and we made fire and we have a tarp, so it wasn't that big of a loss. Obviously morale-wise it's a loss, but the group seems cool. Well, I've just learned a lot. There's a lot of discussion up there about who's who and who knows who and who's done this before, and a lot of stuff I wasn't aware of. So I watched the YouTube's videos that were posted. I watched your stuff, a little bit of your stuff. But I wanted to kind of go in with like not too much knowledge. I wanted to kind of just enjoy the experience. So I don't like, they were saying, well, I recognize her from something about a yellow dress. I don't know. But so I guess Donna's played before. So that's interesting. It sounds like Jason has some sort of secret that he's going to be telling the whole group at some point. I think this early on, you're always looking for an excuse for an easy vote. And so that could be a reason for an easy vote. But she figured out the combination lock. She helped us with the fire. Like, she's been pretty valuable. So that's coming. So I don't know. I really like Gracie. I think she and I locked eyes, and I really like her, and I think there's an opportunity to work well there. I like Luke and Louie. William is a lot to handle. So he's just a big personality, giving a lot of direction, talking about how much of a super fan he is, which if it was me, I'd hold that a little bit closer to my chest, but yeah, he's probably the biggest personality, and so he's coming on very strong. I like his energy, and I think we need that to win, so I don't think that he'd be like an early target for me. I did see William and Becca kind of going off by themselves a lot, and Gracie said that they have hit it off pretty well during the group piece at the front, so I don't know if there's something happening there, but yeah, I'm just trying to kind of flow in the middle right now.
First impressions so far have been that our group seems to be very friendly, and I think everybody's just kind of playing nice at the moment, at the start, so they can kind of get their feelers out. We've been in high spirits, even though we've come in last and had what was called the Nothing Camp, which is really everything now, because we had a tarp and a flint that we won from the first challenge, and we have a fire now, so we're in good spirits. There seems to be a little bit of chatter about a men thing going on because there's more men on our tribe than women, and I noticed Donna was somebody who had played before, and she hasn't come up front about that, and I didn't ask her about it, but apparently Jason has something that he wants to reveal to us too, so it seems like something's going on. I'm just trying to get my best read on everybody, because I want to have as many doors open as possible. I'm willing to work with everybody and anybody at the moment. It was good. I think everybody was supportive of each other. I think there was a little bit of, we were a hot mess in the beginning because none of us could read the map at all. It wasn't very helpful to us. So we were just kind of going based on our directional instincts to where things were. But it ended up working out for us because we did get the tarp and the flint. But I noticed that Justin and Luke would kind of take charge and run up a little bit further. And Donna was a little bit slower, so I would stick behind and make sure she was keeping up and she was okay and everything. So I think I have a good bond with Donna. I feel like she's going to be somebody that is going to want to feel friendly and open to me. But the other guys I feel great as well.
So how does Donna work into like the guys' office thing going on for you?
You know, I don't know. And that talk has been happening, the men talk, but I didn't necessarily say that I'm on board for that. I'm going to say I'm on board for it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be on board for it. Undecided. I think I need to get a good vibe off of Gracie, so I want to kind of feel that out a little bit. I'm hesitant to mention anything because I feel like the second anybody starts mentioning things, it might come back and bite you in the butt. So now that this conversation has kind of been started, I think I'm going to start poking around and see where I can make my best connections. This game isn't one men versus women. You know, it's connections with everybody. I'm not going to close it off just because it's the easiest option.
I actually really like the tribe we're starting on. I just know from like watching, doing my research, probably not going to go to tribal council in these tribes, and we were just talking about that. But I do feel pretty secure that apparently Jason knows who Donna is, and she's some huge super fan who's done, I don't know, a ton of games. She's not really been forthcoming, but honestly, Donna and Jason stick out like sore thumbs in this tribe, and I would feel comfortable if we did go to tribal, because I wouldn't mind losing one of them.
Why is that exactly?
Donna is, well, first of all, she's the oldest, and so she's maybe not going to be a great challenge asset. I'm sure she's good at puzzles, but just the fact that she kind of hid information about herself. Maybe she'll tell us in a minute, I don't know. But I just think if we went to tribal, one of them would go. And Jason's just been he's been really good at the survival stuff, like putting up the shelter, but he kind of was bossing Gracie around, hold this up, give me that string, let me do that, and I could tell Gracie was okay, you do it. So I think that they're just kind of gonna be the odd ones out. I mean, we heard on the walkie-talkies that we were the last ones, and so it's okay, if we're coming in last, let's take our time. We had jogged for a long time and got turned around, and we were all tired. So we ended up stumbling upon the tarpon flint. We weren't even gonna look for a good reward. We were just ready to be done. But we got tarpon flint, and it really didn't. Our placements didn't really matter, except maybe that's how the tribes were divided. I don't really know. But I really don't care that we were last. It doesn't matter. It was frustrating when it was happening, but now that it's over, it's it's not gonna matter anymore. Yeah, the moment I just talked to Gracie and Becca, I loved them. I'm in love. They're both really cute also. But I would just get good vibes from them. Gracie is just the most positive person. I like that. So I hate to be so cliche and be young versus old. When like I said, we might not even go to tribal. But as far as allies go, I would like to work with Becca and Gracie the most. And then maybe next down, I think Louie is kind of annoying, but I think it makes sense for us to work together because we're both not masculine guys. He's just, how do I phrase this nicely? He's just a little too flamboyant for me. He's very talking about, he's seen Wicked 48 times, which is cool. I've seen Wicked, it's good. 48 times is calm down. I don't know. Yeah, so after Becca and Gracie, I'm just fine with everybody else. I'll work, I think Justin is nice. William is nice. Yeah, that's it.
Funny you should mention that. So,
Knowing
I knew
aspect.
that I could be perceived as a threat because I've been involved with volunteering in the past immediately.
Were you forthcoming with that, or were you?
What?
Were you forthcoming with that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I'll tell you right up now. Here's my whole strategy right here, right now. And I've already been making stuff happen. I am not waiting till tomorrow, even the next morning, even till after Confessionals. I've already been starting on stuff because I'm going at this freaking 100%. Going into this, I thought that I view myself as a double threat. I talk a lot of social game with you guys in the crew and everyone in production. I love staying up super late and talking about all the possibilities. I obsess over the social game. That is far more the deadly part of the game. Physical threat, that's a part of it, especially when you get into the merge, but that's later on. At the beginning, it's actually an asset. You want physical threats on your team to get you to the merge. When you look at me, before you even know me, you'd see that I'm an athletic dude in his 20s. Think, physical threat, cool, we need him in challenges. I'm gonna play that up, play the crap out of it. I've already said that that's what I'm here for. I'm here to test my ability endurance-wise and to see how I do, which is true. I'm not saying any lies with any of the stuff that I do, but I am amping up some parts of myself and my strategy and downplaying some other parts. But I'm trying to say is the least amount of lies as possible. Because if even one lie comes out and they find out that it was a lie, immediately goes away any bonds I've built with anybody. So, how that's actually working out in practicality is that my goal is to make bonds individually with every single person and tell them, hey, I like your playstyle, something along those lines, something I've noticed, something genuine, like, hey, I noticed you did a great job in that challenge, something nice. Get them listening, you know? And then I want to go from there and it's like, hey, look, I'm going to be honest, I know a social game is a big part of this game. That's not my strong suit, you know? I was a homeschooler, you know, which is true. Wasn't as big as a detriment as I'm making it out to be. It's true, you know? And I'm just saying that, look, I need help in this area. What can I do for you to help me with this game? Because I'm not coming to them with any strategies, because that ruins my whole persona about having any idea. I'm trying to do as least amount of strategizing as possible. Say that, look, I want to be a team player, I want to be trustworthy, I want to be accountable. Those are my characteristics and I'm sticking to it, and that's what I'm telling them. So they can come to me, I'm the person that you can trust. I'm the person that you can take to the end because I'm not going to screw you over, you know? Or at least to the merge. I'll deal with the merge when I get there. That's a big problem. But for now, I am trying to get on everyone's good side. And also in that turn, if they trust me, they'll tell me straight up what their plan is. And then by the end of the day, I'll know what everybody's plan is. And then I can just pick the one that suits me best, you know? Like I can just pick and choose, you know? I've already, because thanks to fire making, I got one-on-one time with Becca. And initiated basically a final 2. It's not a final 2. I told her it's a final 2, but I'm not making any final 2s, any ride or dies at all, because I'm not telling anyone my real strategy. No one. As soon as I even leaks part of that out, I'm ruined. I'm not trustworthy and I lose everything. So that stays totally secret.
So far.
Honestly, our team's really great. One of my biggest fears is that this only works with a team that likes to talk and likes to work together. If I don't get that at the beginning, I'm going to have to change things up. But we got a great tribe. We lost the first challenge, but it wasn't by much, and we're like all about it because we're like, yeah, we're the underdogs, and this is exactly what we want. And we're already planning on like saying that we couldn't build a fire, and we're basically pathetic, and just like really play up the underdog role.
Opa.
Yeah. See, you know. Yeah, because that's a good thing to go through. We already see the other teams as kind of more alpha vibey. We see a lot more bigger like persons that need to be in charge. I don't feel like there's a person that stands out that needs to be in charge here, and I like that. The one strategic thing that I've thrown out was to say, hey, look, based on my experience, it's very, very unlikely that tribes will be mixed up before we do into eliminations. The whole first day is just reward challenges. It's very, very likely that we're not going to be voting for each other. There's no reason to make a pegging for us. What?
This group of 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a 1% chance of us voting this specific tribe into. I don't think it's going to happen. Could happen. That's the 1%. But I told them it's never happened before. It makes for better gameplay, and that's why they do it. Survivor currently has done that for like the past 30 seasons. There's a reason why they swap the tribes. You don't want to keep the same tribes to merge. It's more boring that way. So I told them, it's like, look guys, we don't need to get on each other's bad stuff. Suggestions. I'm not trying to be the leader. Suggestions, and that's the thing, is that I'm utilizing the information because I want it to make it seem that I'm telling them everything I know. I want to be an asset. I want to be trusted, and I'm doing everything I can to do that, you know? Giving them information as I can. So it's just like, yeah, look, I'm in this, guys, you know? And with that, I said, like, guys, this could be our final group that we take to the merge. When you get split off, do whatever you can to stick together with your original tribe to get yourself to the merge. Then we'll have the majority. If we do it well, we can vote everyone else off and then go from there. That's like a great strategy, but it only works if everyone does it and everyone's committed to it and we have a majority at merge. So it takes a couple things, and it was like, I know this is a lofty suggestion, but what I've seen, witnessed, and I use that specifically, not what I've thought out. What I've seen, that's the most logical thing to do.
It's great. Off to a great start so far. No complaints from me. I mean, you come in, I liked the group before I was with to start, and then the group we met up with, really liked them as well, and then we felt like we were going to be a strong tribe. We saw one of the other tribes pass by when they were going to their like waiting point, and I think it was Bobby was like, I think we got this. Like, I think we're definitely a stronger tribe than them just by that group I saw. And I felt the same way, like all our guys seemed strong, even our girls seemed strong. And then, first challenge, came in there and won it pretty handily, so. And then we come back to camp, we have a second tart, and then we get a fire going within like 2 minutes, so can't complain about the start at all. So came in, and there were a few little embers left from a burn that must have happened earlier. Don't know what that was from, but managed to find a few embers before it started to rain, and took our little kindling that we got, that my group of 4 got, just threw it on a piece of wood, brought it over, and got a fire going like that. I think it kind of helps. We have a guy who does like wilderness tours or something, and Brendan, and so he really just got to work on the fire and got going in no time. Just the usual sort of get to know each other. Me and Jen went up to get our box that had bug spray and stuff in it, whatever, and she was like, "I got you, Austin, I got you," and I was like, "Got you too." Like, obviously not gonna say no right now, but I do like Jen, so I mean, I definitely want to work with her. And I was standing there when the second group of 4 came up, of David, Brendan, Christine, and Rachel. I was looking at David and I was like, I know him from somewhere. I know he's not from Survivor, but I know him from somewhere. And I kept looking at him and I was like, where, like, I know him. And I was like, I feel like this guy used to have long hair. And that's when I clicked and I was like, okay, I know who David is. I was like, okay, I know that's Bob's son. So it was just frustrating because I knew he wasn't from the show, but I knew him. So I was glad that I was able to register that. And hopefully, be able to make a connection with him and see what we can do, because I really like David. He seems like the type of guys I'd be really good friends with outside of the game. Seems like we have similar personalities, so really when I get back to camp, definitely want to talk to him and try and see what we can do.
So what are the plans tonight?
Plans tonight are getting good with everybody. We're not trying to get in with just one group, we want to get in good with everybody.
Immediately love my tribe mates. Absolutely. I think when we came together, the 2 groups of 4, we immediately became 8. Like, it was, some of the other tribes, like, oh, the other 4 were late, blah, blah, blah. It's like we immediately kind of had cohesion. Mm-hmm. I started with Bruce and Jen, and Austin came late, and I was kind of worried that Austin, that might be kind of a point of contention there, but Bruce and I kind of clicked immediately, which was kind of odd because he's a Rams fan and I'm a Patriots fan, but I think that kind of helped. So actually, one thing that I brought up was just how if this is going to be kind of a rewards challenge group, when we do a tribe swap, just stay strong. I know that, in the past, if you're going with 4 tribes of 6, we have 3 tribes of 8, it's a little different than kind of what we've seen in the past, so kind of curious, if things are going to be different this time around, which I would guess that they will be, keep things fresh, but yeah, over there, honestly, I was kind of worried a little bit, because when people aren't talking game, it's when you kind of think they're talking about you. So the challenge looked absolutely impossible. Like, it looked hard. And then, again, Bruce and I just had, like, an immediate, we worked together so well. Like, getting it to the middle, dropping it, everything that we did was just great. And then Jen and Austin, worked cohesively, too. And I don't know if it's just, sports and whatnot, but kind of just taking that, being the loud voice role and kind of taking the leader, which is something that I keep telling myself not to do. It's a really easy way to just stick your head out. But we got through that first half very easily. On the second group, I was a little worried about Christine's performance. She ended up obviously bringing it together and did great, but she seemed nervous, and it affected her ability to play. When she reached out and grabbed the ball, let it drop. Worst case scenario, right? If you're touching the ball, it's over, right? So that didn't really help her. So I'm hoping to get some conversations, and I think that's the most important thing that I can do with this team. So we have kind of a sandy, rivery area back a little bit that we've been getting sitting logs from, so we've kind of been able to kind of go back and talk a little bit there. Jen and David, I feel like, have already done their big reveals of, Jen playing last year and David being Bob's son, has come out. So I think that that's been good for us as a whole. Clearly it means that they trust us, and I think that's important. But I really want to get, if I can get somebody, and I'm trying to kind of work closely with Rachel, just being from the other 4 originally and just trying, and you know, being a woman, where like if you try to get a girls alliance going, like hopefully she could at least inform me of something along those lines. Or same with if they wanted to get whatever brown or whatever their original tribe was, like you can kind of do those cross boundaries. So.
Excited, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. This is crazy, I'm sitting here. Well, there's something about driving 9 hours all the way to the middle of nowhere, and all you can think about is what's right in front of you. So the whole drive here, you know, I'm running scenarios in my head, but I've really boiled it down to about 3 components of my game that I really need to sort of nurture. And the first one is that I am 19 years old. That really doesn't help you much in Survivor if you're 19. And I recognize that. So socially, that's something that I'm gonna have to keep under wraps. Number 2 is nobody wants to get told what to do by a 19-year-old. And that is a huge thing that it's hard for me to get over, because that's all I want to do is tell people who to vote for, but it's not that easy. So definitely gonna have to be the follower, be the, yeah, who do you want to vote for, play up the stupid adolescent frat bro. That's what I have to do to get myself further in this game at the beginning. And finally, I realized coming into it that I'm not gonna be the biggest physical competitor on my team, but I will be 2 or 3 pegs down. I'm not gonna be the weakest, I'm not gonna be the strongest. So what I need to do is I need to stay there. I need to go into the merge with a low physical threat level, and basically throw these challenges until the final 7, given that I make it that far. If I do, then that's when I'm really gonna turn it on. My real plan though is to be counted out as this kid. I want them to really relish in my sort of adolescence, my stupidity, if you will. I want them to think that I am much less smart than I am. If I can do that, then I really think that people will write me off, and I will have a lot of free reign on what I can do. I think I can just run around. I'll be able to talk to people. Nobody will really care that much. I think it'll be interesting to use the age disadvantage to your advantage. I don't think I've seen anybody do it yet. Well, I don't see anybody being truly bothered by anybody yet. I don't see anybody really rubbing anybody the wrong way yet. But there are some people that are way more outspoken. They're having a lot more opinions than other people, and you can start to sort of sense the turn of the shoulder from these other tribe mates. And the thing that I'm really focusing right now on is just keeping my mouth shut. I really just want to wait the first day out. I want to wait until at least I have to vote somebody out to even bring that sort of thing up. But given that it does happen soon, I think I'm gonna be okay. Here's the problem is that I'm playing my ass off. I don't even know half these people's names. Like, I think his name is Austin. Me and him were down getting wood and, you know, pull each other aside. Us two. And, you know, I do feel good with him, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, bro, sorry. You know, I didn't know his name at first. I had to wait until somebody else said it afterwards. But, yeah, I am feeling good. I feel like if we had to go to a vote, I think Bruce would go. Just off of his outspokenness. All right, well, I don't give a shit who goes, as long as it ain't me at first. I find the immunity idol. I'm showing up to the challenge, and I'm gonna say, who wants this? And I'm gonna look at the other tribes. First one to raise their hand gets it. I don't care. I don't want it. My tribe won't have to worry about it, and that's instantly causing chaos in the other tribe. And it's good TV.
Oh, my first impressions are good. I'm excited. There's definitely a laid-back feeling amongst the people that seems like they're playing, but they're really here to have a great time. And I have a sense that everybody wants to enjoy everybody, including myself. That's how I feel. I came here wanting to enjoy everybody, enjoy the experience, and then cut them all out. Well, at the very beginning, I gave Bobby, I just said, Bobby, I decided you're the smartest one, so I gave him the map. And then he led, and we just ran, and it was fun getting all of our stuff. I saw the bag, and we all ran back and got the bag, and grabbed that. We were thinking we could keep collecting more and more things as we were going along, and found out that wasn't quite as true, and so we missed the tarp. So it was very exciting when the next group came in and had a tarp, and we had the bag of kindling. It took us a second, I think, to, I wasn't, at least for me, I wasn't thinking this was going to be our 8. I just thought for some reason 4 other people gathered around. Jen started introducing everybody, and I was thinking to myself, we don't know who these guys are, you know, and she was asking careers, and then it dawned on us that we're all together, and so I was actually, she was kind of the connector at first. We just did a lot of, I'm kind of a humorous guy, so I try to deflect everything by bringing humor in, so I just started asking careers and things, and everybody was really open, and it was fun. Didn't really notice the other I kind of did. I mean, they looked, but I didn't size them up as much as I was terrified by that first challenge, thinking, what if this takes an hour? I mean, I just kept thinking this ball is going to fall off. It's going to, and then we decided that our group was going to be the first one, and I thought to myself, should we go by height? And so I picked Bobby, but I'm already connecting with Bobby, so I was actually doing that as a strategy. To try to give, but I do things in a way of like where he thinks it's his idea or whatever, and the whole team thought it was their idea to put me and Bobby together, and I was like, okay, yes, I want to team with Bobby. So we did the board together. Austin and Jen did the other board, and I'm thankful for Bobby because I would not have remembered the direction that we're supposed to then step over the next one, and Bobby remembered that. So, but we killed it, and I was just like, this is awesome, and I felt really good. What could be my detriment is that I am a talker, and so I like to talk through problems. That's what I do for a living. It did seem like a bunch of people were starting out with fire, and I really thought a tarp would be the best. And then people were running around with that, and then I kind of said, hey, a fire might just be just for tonight. The tarp could be for a couple of days. That could be dumb, but we decided to, and then everybody goes, yeah, let's go for tarp. And that's my impression how it went. My personal thoughts of the camp is to build camaraderie and joy. And I believe a fun team is a winning team. A team that laughs together stays together. So that's a big deal to me, and I believe it. I've been in football, flag football for years and years and years, and I'm a cheerleader. So I'm going to cheerlead and all that stuff. So my personal goal for tonight is to not only have joy, but to get into each person's heart. And so I feel that if I get into your heart and we have moments that some people, like we already had a couple moments that somebody started getting a little bit emotional, those are good things. And it's good for the team. And when we let down all that stuff, then my personality would be to be that helper, that lover, that encourager, and hopefully people want to keep me around. Because I'm the oldest guy on, period. And what I bring is a nice guy, you know, and kindness. Nobody's asked me also what I do for a living. I've told people individually, but one. But for whatever reason, the way everything went is nobody's asked me what I do. It's like it got deflected to somebody else, but I'm going to tell them. But I actually like the idea of not telling them I'm a pastor till a little bit later, because people are cussing and doing all this different stuff, and I don't want it to be, I mean, you know, if it's right before, then everybody's going to be on edge. And I'd rather them see that I'm a real person and that I'm not what they expect, and that they will go to like me, and then they'll continue on with that. As far as my age, I'm going to play that by ear. I decided what I would do is go by my wife's age, which she's 5 years younger than me, and that way I can remember all of our milestones. But I don't know. It's 50. I'm going to be 57 next week, and that doesn't. You know, I'm me, so I know I have tons of energy. I know who I am, and I feel young, and I come across young. But I'm like, that's tipping 60, and you know. But I'll let my play talk. But I think 52 might seem a
I didn't want to read the map because I know that that's like a curse, so don't read the map. I noticed right away that I am by far the oldest in the group, and I've got brute strength on my side, but I don't have the running unless I'm being chased by an axe murderer or a bear, and have to. And so that was unexpected cardio, and I was afraid I'd hurt the team for sure. But not knowing what was to come, I didn't know if we were going to meet up and split up and whatnot. I just thought, like, don't stand out, don't stand out. We did well, though. We got the tarp, which was the #1 goal getting here, besides being cast, was get the tarp first night. We were the second group. We walked past the first group thinking they were another tribe, and then we got our maps out and realized we were both at the same finish spot. And we felt like we were supposed to be doing something, and we weren't quite sure what, so we went and broke off a whole bunch of wood and put it in the box to keep dry because we knew the rain was coming. And we kind of tried to get to know each other, but everyone's very guarded. I'm very guarded, so maybe I just see that in everyone else. And we just looked, we reread the clue, and we just waited around for further instruction. Like, if there was something we were supposed to be doing, we clearly never figured it out. Again, I'm definitely the oldest of the 4, not the oldest of the 8, and so in my head I just kept thinking, like, don't screw it up, and that was, I was afraid I was going to psych myself out for it, but Brendan was really great because I'm a lot shorter than everyone else, and since we had to partner with the first 4 we were with, I am like a foot shorter than everybody, so we just wanted to make sure we were partnered in a way to work best. So we went second, so we were able to watch the first group and kind of get an idea from them what the best angle was to do. And then because we were on the second stretch with the balance, I just was really afraid of messing it up and making us have to start all over again. And we did, but we still won. I did, and we still won. Well, I mean, I recognized Jen from last season. I've watched every video you guys have had. I've read all of your articles, Andy. I have anything you've written, I have read. Anything that Ryan wrote, I read. Kurt Connor wrote 28 pages on his experience. I read that twice. And I'm a little bit of an over-preparer, so I watched the 82 videos from last year, the Facebook Lives, twice. And then I watched the YouTube exit interviews. I watched 2017's live videos, and every year from before I've watched the unfortunate way your game ended in 2014. And yeah, so I just wanted to prepare everything I could to think through. I was a soldier, so you have to know what to anticipate next, always. I think with Brendan, I'm nervous still because of my age, but then eventually I was never going to lie about it, but I tried to be cute about it, and it seemed like it was totally fine, I think. And we won the first challenge. That takes a lot of pressure off, for sure. So I think Brendan, I think Jen, we just went on like the porta potty walk and had to wait over there for you guys. So, and I definitely know somebody on one of the other tribes. So, am I
you can talk about that.
I know Donna. So,
what do you plan to do with that?
Well, assuming we survive long enough to be coupled together, I plan on leveraging that, and I'm sure I would hope she would, just because we're from the same community. But you know that already, so. I don't recognize anyone else from the Rob Has a Podcast community, though. Well, in a perfect world, we've got this amazing camp that we're just going to chill at and talk at, but we have this feeling that something's about to happen. It's early. It feels like there's something else about to happen. We don't know what. The energy's in the air. That first challenge was too easy. I mean, yes, I guess. For me, I'm very guarded right now, and I'm like trying to figure out if I open my mouth or if I don't open my mouth, and if I don't open my mouth, is that gonna like bite me? So I just don't know. I am trying to be very careful about not taking my shirt off because of this crazy scar that goes all the way up and down my spine. So I used to be in a wheelchair, had 3 massive spinal surgeries. I was injured in the Army. This for me is like a big physical challenge I've been training for. I wanted to apply last year, I wasn't ready. I was really excited to apply this year and get cast. I feel like it was meant to happen. But I feel like I don't want anyone to know, because I don't think it limits me at all. But I don't want anyone having I already have age against me potentially. We noticed there's only 3 women on the tribe, so I don't want to mess this up, and so I'm an overthinker, and I'm afraid that if I say too much, I'm just gonna dig my own grave. I don't want to be the first one out. I don't want to be the first day out. I want to be here Sunday. I want to win. I didn't know going into this until you guys asked me to do a 15-second video, and I took forever doing it again and again and again to try and think about it. I'm like, I do want to win this, so it's important.
I looked around who was in my group before and loved it. Like it was who I would have wanted to pick. Just kind of, if I quickly scanned who's in the other tribes, loved who was in my team. It's Rachel. The original 4 was Rachel and Christine, and then the dude, what's his name? The other guy that's in my team, who I love. He's a young guy that's at Arizona State. So I loved it, and we opened up the notes, the clues to go find our thing out in the woods, and we chose tarp, or just go right past the question mark, don't even bother with it. We blew by a team that was all excited to stuff with the question mark, and I guess they ended up finding a bag of sawdust, and we pretty much flawlessly went straight to the tarp. Well, we went to found this box in the woods, and it had a clue saying there's a key nearby. And Rachel found the key pretty quickly. It was down in this little creek right near us. Open up, got a tarp, and that was it. And then we ended up meeting up with the other 4, and there's a little confusion. Are they in our tribe? Are they not? And it's sort of like this kind of, not really peacocking, but kind of jostling around of are we one team? Are we not? Are we, what's going on? So it was great. I love the other guys on the team too. Everyone did great. I can jump right into the challenge too if you want me to go. There's a lot of what's your background? How old are you? What do you do? I said I'm in HR, so of course there's all these HR jokes and Toby from the office. And I'm sort of debating, do I play up I didn't anticipate this, but when I said HR, everyone's thinking I'm this nerdy, sensitive HR guy. And I kind of want to run with that a little bit. That's cool. We can do that. But I'm sort of trying to get a sense for how they're seeing me, how I can see myself in a few different ways. So there's a lot of the, did we just violate an HR situation? So I'm keeping an HR file on them right now. Every time they say something inappropriate, touch someone inappropriately, I'm on it. So it's cool. No, I like the team. We're all getting along. Everyone seems, from what I can tell, they all seem to be gamers. They're into it. But they also seem easy to get along with, too, which I suppose is a concern anybody has. Am I going to have to go spend multiple hours, multiple days with somebody that I don't like? Are they negative? Are they, just going to suck the energy out of me? They're all great. Yeah. I look at who the other tribes are, and I just my own smugness. I'm like, we're gonna crush this. I don't even know what the challenge is. We all thought it was gonna be swimming or something related to that. And I looked around. It was if something would have to go terribly wrong for us not to win this challenge, whatever it was. And I mean, we ended up crushing it. I'm a little concerned now. We're gonna start crushing all day tomorrow, become these challenge beasts, then have a target. Then there'll probably be a shuffle at some point, and then maybe we get targeted because we're good at a lot of things like challenges. When we won, there was a little debate. Do we go with fire? Do we go with tarp? We could hear the storm growing, and it's what's the difference? Why even bother with the fire? It definitely seems like it's going to rain. Let's go for shelter. Let's go for rain. Let's go for the tarp, and we'll figure it out. And the temperature's not that bad. And to be honest, this is exactly what I wanted to happen. I didn't want it to be sunny and 75 every day. That's what it's like where I live. It's I wanted the Survivor experience. I want it to rain harder, actually. And of course, we go back. I don't know if other people have shared this yet, but we go back and we start a fire right away. There was a kind of a smoldering like burn pile over on the side, and it was just a hint of smoke, and like I'm good with that stuff. Like I didn't actually go and start it, but I could tell immediately if there's a little smoke, like we'll get a fire going, no problem. So I helped with collecting sticks and had someone else kind of get the glory of starting it up. So we have a fire. We have 2 tarps. We're happy. We're winning. It's raining. It's good. It's everything I want to be. It's awesome. I haven't heard too much gameplay yet. I wonder as it gets darker, as it gets later, will people kind of step aside? Actually, I wanted to go to the bathroom with the women that are going over right now, just kind of like chat with them and kind of see where they're at. You know, I came over to do this, but I anticipate later tonight there'll probably be some, you know, gameplay talk. You know, where's your head at? What are you thinking? And there's definitely some people on this team that I could see myself going far with, which I'm excited about. Christine, I like a lot. She's a mom. She's 45. She seems like she's a little nervous and a little insecure about her abilities. She's probably terrified to be first vote out. I feel like, you know, if I form something there, we could, you know, I could try to protect her, and I can sort of compliment her, and she can compliment me in ways that, like, you know, she can go off and talk with other people that, you know, may not feel as comfortable talking with me. She seems great. What's the young guy's name on my team? Can you tell me, or do I need to come up with it? I'll think of it. I'm so good usually with this stuff. So I'll just talk about the other people, then maybe his name. Brendan is his name. Nice. Nailed it. Can I get the idol now? So Brendan's a great guy. He's 19. He's all enthusiastic. He's you know, he's barely seen it. He doesn't know it's like, you know, he heard about this on Reddit. He's excited about doing this. I think he's a big Survivor fan, but he hasn't seen a lot of this, which is kind of like perfect. And I think he's enthusiastic about kind of. So what I didn't anticipate was I assumed people would, you know that I was Bob Crowley's son, and you know, just because I've been around the last few challenges. I wasn't here last year, which I love. You know, I'm glad I hadn't seen this because everything's new to me here. But I didn't anticipate it, and it's funny. The tribes walking around, we're hanging out, and they start like, "Oh, there goes Bob," and like, you know, there wasn't really an opportunity for me to just like, you know, come out and be, hey, just full disclosure, because I'm assuming it's like not I didn't think it was going to be like a big deal or anything, but I didn't feel like a natural moment where it was, you know, for me to kind of bring it up, and I don't think it's necessarily like, you know, everything can be a target, right? So like anything I do, someone can twist into being some sort of target. It could be like I have an unfair advantage or whatever. But it's thank God people didn't realize that I'm related to him, because they could have like, you know, said some bad thing. They're like, oh, that's so awesome, that's Bob, you know, it's like whatever. Which is sort of comforting that, you know, you can kind of like listen and hear what people that don't realize, you know, you're connected. You know, usually when they're, you know, talking to your face, they say the same things. So I didn't know if they might say something different. And actually, one of them was saying, I think Jen was saying, or Christine was saying, like, oh, it'd be so cool if, you know, one of the Survivors' kids were playing, like one of their sons. And I'm like literally standing right there, and I was like, and then it was like, all right, time to go to like every time I would just want to like break it. So I'll let them know tonight. I don't want it to feel like it's something I'm hiding from that at all, because it's not like, to me, it's not like that big of an issue. But I mean, other than that, it's, you know, it'd be nice to have found someone behind me. We're at a great camp spot. We went immediately running off to look for firewood. Of course, I kind of had my eye like looking around, like, he's fine, because I don't want to like have to look hard. Like, I don't want to even necessarily have to look for one, but like I was hoping to just like stumble upon one. I found all these great little crevices that it could have been in. I'm sitting there like, you know, digging around in there, and you know, in these tree trunks and everything, and I couldn't find it. And there may not be one tonight, but I didn't want to go off, obviously blatantly going looking for one. But it was funny, I did come back, and Rachel sort of like eyes me, and I didn't know if it was like, you know, the type of look I get when I'm at a bar and they sort of look at me, or if it was like if she's checking to see if there's an idol in my pants. You know, immediately I'm like, God damn it, I know what she's doing, you know, she's checking me out. No, it's good, she's looking for an idol. So, you know, I'm like, I wanted to kind of like get in front of it and be like look how tight these pants are. Like there's nothing in here, you know? Like where would I be hiding? She kind of like did like the screen. I actually do have like a big belt on, so I think it was sort of like one of these situations, and I kind of want to get ahead of that, but.
I love the rain in the summer, not when it's like 50 degrees outside. So I'm excited. I even told him I was going to do an Indian rain dance. We thought that we could go to 4 different spots and get one item, like per person. So we were just running to the closest ones to get the most items, and then we realized we read the instructions wrong, and it was only one item per team. But luckily, when we came together, one of us got sawdust and one of us got a shark, so we lucked out, definitely. Well, we had a lot of time in the car back and forth because we had someone that was a little bit late, and so you can bond without speaking. So there was a lot of body language going on. Well, first I thought we were only going to have 4 in a tribe because it said we only had 1 flag and 4 of us, and we all had different finish spots, we thought. But then we realized it was too many people to do that. So once they started walking up, there was the guy in the plaid shirt. I call him Lumberjack. I can't remember his name. I'm really bad at names, but I thought he looked like a good guy. But then the tall teacher girl, she didn't seem very friendly, but she's kind of getting in there now. She's not very personable, even though she like does good things with her work. She like teaches autistic kids and stuff like that. I'm sure she's a really good person. It's just first impression. I didn't get that. I think it's gonna be a lot of, well, they're kind of talking about another challenge or something like that, and I think it's just gonna be a lot of bonding and just kind of getting settled in and making we've got a really good camp going, so we're gonna stay dry and warm. Redemption is mine. I will not, this is a determined person right here. I will go to the end.
I'm pumped. I think our tribe did really well in that challenge. And I think we're pretty good as a group so far. Obviously, like, just the honeymoon phase. I know it's all downhill from here. But I like my tribe so far. Trying to think of names. Struggling. Charlotte? Nope. Carolyn. Carolyn.
I can't tell
It's
you.
Carolyn. Her name starts with a C. Probably struggled the most in the challenge, but it doesn't really matter. I feel like our group, based on how it's gone in the past, our group is just to like win like challenges, I guess, to get rewards, and then we'll probably be split up. So I'm trying not to strategize too much and just build relationships that can hopefully pass after things split up. And yeah, getting good vibes from a lot of people. I think I'm just gonna butcher everyone's name now. I swear I know him. Well, I'm gonna say Bill, the older guy. I think he likes me a lot. We're both like into special ed and special needs and stuff like that, so we hit it off real quick. But he is kind of making himself a leader on the tribe and barking some orders, and that's never good, so I don't want to be too close to him, but it's good to have him. Bob and I talked a little bit, but I feel like he's probably talking to everyone. And David has kind of lone wolfed a little bit, so I'm interested to see what his game is like. And yeah, I think the other girl is a returner, so that's something to keep in the back pocket. But yeah, good group. I think we were mostly shocked that we had so much time. There's a lot of like, what should we be doing right now kind of thing. But we just did some classic get to know you questions. Where are you from? What do you do? Stuff like that. All as a group. No one like went off or anything. So that was good to like build some tribe unity, which might have helped us in the challenge. Who knows? But yeah, it's good to have that time.
So what?
We knew it was gonna rain tonight, since we had the weather app before we got here. So we knew tonight at least. And it's hot out. We didn't really need heat at least, and we can't cook anything because we don't have any pots or food. And it's raining, so tarps are always good for the rain and just general comfort in the camp. And also usually you get fire eventually, while tarp is like, you get it now or you don't get it. I have no idea what tonight's going to be like. Hopefully just kumbaya together in a camp, but I'm sure there will be some stragglers and people going off in groups. I try not to be alone for too long. Every time I'm alone, like I'm wasting time, I need to be talking to somebody. So, we'll see. And Lechner is on the other tribe, who did Ohio State Survivor with me. I was in my scholars program at Ohio State, and I love that kid, and I wanted to hug her so bad, but I couldn't, and hopefully she's keeping it secret too. But I'm interested to see if that'll help me in the future.
We had a challenge where we had to balance a ball on 2 beams and go under and over. We got second place in it. It was a learning curve, so I got the privilege of going second. But with second place, we got to choose between a nothing camp and a camp with fire already going. But with the rain, the fire, maybe the tarp was the winner's pick, but we were going fire anyway, so we ended up with a fire. Made it back here. We have a tarp. We're trying to set it up, and it's going mediocre. Collins seems like a good, loyal dude. I get a good vibe from him. I get a good vibe from Travis. I've heard of Lance. I know he's kind of a gamer, so he worries me a little bit. The girls, let's see, there's a couple really loud ones. I feel like it's like a who can be the loudest between all the girls right now, except for Angela. She's the older one who's kind of quiet, so I'm kind of feeling the cut of her jib right now. Otherwise, Stephanie is, I mean, I like them all, but they like to talk. I think everyone's kind of feeling the jitters of like, I don't want to drift in the background right away, even though if they follow these kind of games, they're probably not going to travel with this, or maybe we are, with this particular group, so you don't have to get too crazy with it. This is that we switch it up at some point tomorrow before we vote. I'd like to think I'm useful enough looking wise with athletic ability that I won't be an easy vote, but I don't know. I'm ready for anything. I'm not locking in anything in terms of what I think's gonna happen. I'm just gonna go with the flow. Just try to get a little crazy.
Hey, so I heard about this through Rob has a podcast, but no one needs to know that I listened to that. And Sunday was on the podcast, and she was like, "Oh, you know, I did this great event up in Maine," and I was like, "What is she talking about? I've never heard about this." And then looked into it, applied. That was like October. Applied in January, and here I am. What happened? Okay, so we started out in 4s, and I was a little nervous about our 4. I wasn't positive on how I felt in that group, but this 8 I love. I really think we're gonna do great tomorrow, if tomorrow's the first event. We got second in that first event today, and I mean, we ended up with a better camp in my opinion, so that worked out. And I was just talking to Colin and Sam, and I think we're gonna get something going with Anthony. And I don't know, I feel really good right now. Well, I watched all of last year on the live streams, and it looks like it's kind of like a points day, if it's anything like that. So kind of just a lot of challenges, playing for points, and we'll see if it's a great reward at the end. You kind of Stephanie, I feel like is a lot to handle. She means well, but I could see me and her just being on opposite sides, especially like navigating through the woods. I don't want to say I was right, but I was right. And going across the corn path, but she thought we wanted to go straight. I mean, so we didn't end up with a tarp, but then we did because we ended up with another team, and she just kind of grabbed the one bag and didn't read it that once you touch it you have to take it, so that was kind of frustrating. But yeah, she otherwise really love this tribe.
Through kind of like the live game community. I played in Survivor Rule for season 4, and now Survival Challenge was one game that I saw was so challenge dedicated, and that's kind of what my main goal being here, because I didn't experience the hunger, the sleeping outside and making it all the way to the end and winning the game, but I really want something that's more challenge based. Yeah, I'm excited for anything water based. I'm excited for anything endurance, push yourself. Recently, within the last couple of years, I've kind of been practicing puzzles, so I feel like I'm a real well-versed player, and it's to get that survival experience, seeing challenges that emulate the real show almost to a T is exciting for me. Only challenge that anyone who knows me know that I could barely even swallow a pill. So any gross food eating challenge, like I'm not too excited about. But anything else, I feel like I will push myself to the freaking limit. But gross food eating is something that like, it's like my kryptonite. I just can't. Out of my first 4 group that when we first got connected, I was a part of the green group. The people that stood out to me, like I feel like our group as a whole was a very like positive group. Seemed like we was excited for the experience. I seemed to really click with Sam. Sam, she seemed like she's a bubbly, like young, my age, like just excited for the experience. Travis seemed very reserved, but I kind of like the mix of like, you know, Travis's like quietness and Sam's like bubbly personality. With Stephanie, I feel like that's someone that I would definitely have to watch. She seems like she's that mother who like wants to run everything, because you know, she seems, it's just something about her. Like I'm really good about reading people, and she's someone who kind of like looks very stern and like want things to go a certain way, and that's what, you know, she kind of scares me a little bit. Based on like me researching and being like a big fan of Survival Challenge, I feel like this group right here is not going to be a group that we have a first vote with. I feel like tomorrow's going to be all reward challenges, and then some kind of crazy swap happens. So my goal like now is just to get like, you know, not worry about too much on the strategy side, is to really like build that personal bond with people. Like that's my thing. I want to build like a personal bond with people to see like who I could really work with, because if a potential swap happens, I know I'm gonna end up with some of them. So it's more so of myself, you know, seeing who I could work with moving forward.
I was born and raised in Ohio, and I went to Ohio State, which is the bomb. And I heard about it from my best friend Greg, who played last season, who is my husband and the love of my life, and I love him so much. But yeah, he told me about it, and he was like, dude, you gotta play. And apparently he told other friends of ours that they should play too, because one of them is here.
Who's that?
Rachel Karen, and she's on the orange one.
Preface, please. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There is a person that I know here. I actually know 2 people here, which you don't even know that I know 2 people here. I'm sorry I looked at it. But Greg, I know 2 people here, because Rachel Karen is here, and she's like one of my really good friends from college, and I love that bitch. And I'm so excited to connect with her later in the game, because I know she's going to make it far. She almost won our game that we played at Ohio State, because we had played at Ohio. I'm just rambling now. We played at Ohio State. Greg, my friend Greg that I talked about earlier, who is nowhere around right now, he started a game with me at Ohio State where we brought Ohio State students in to play. It was awesome. It was the best, and I loved it so much. But she played on our third season. She played on our 3rd season, which was awesome. And I have known her since freshman year, so I'm really excited to connect with her later in the game, because I'm sure she's not going to tell anyone that we know each other. But the other one, I met him at an open casting call for a real Survivor 2 years ago. But he texted me this past December to see if I was at the same one in Pennsylvania that we met at last year, or a couple years ago. And I know he'll remember me if I like go up to him and say like, hey, I know you from that. But I need to do that later in the game, obviously, and hopefully Rachel's aligned with him. That way we just have an alliance. But right now, me, Colin, Anthony, and Travis are 4, and we're gonna try and rope in Julia. I don't know what that was. One just straight up came up to me and was like, I feel really good about you. And I was like, cool. Colin kind of reminds me of my friend Vinny though, so I'm a little bit worried about him. He might be a little sneaky guy later. But Travis is just a sweet little bean. I think he's probably like 18 years old, and he is the cutest thing. So I'll like flirt that up a little bit, and we'll be pals. If he's watching this, he's gonna watch this in a year and be like, wow, I can't believe you said that. But like, he's so cute, and I love him. I think Stephanie trusts me, which is cool, because I can use that, because she thought there was an advantage in the wood chips, but it just turned out to be the apple and orange, which is fine. I checked that bag, there's nothing in there. But it just turned out to be the apple and orange. But when she thought there was an advantage, she told me about it instantly. So we're tight. Well, she's tight, I'm just there, but that'll be good. And then, yeah, Julia seems cool. I like Julia. I just don't know how she feels about me. I'm pretty talkative. I'm like a very outgoing person, and so I think that instantly, I knew that was gonna be like my downfall, is like if I try and make friends with every single person. So that's actively why I'm not trying to talk to everyone on my tribe, because like if they see me doing that, they'll be like, we can't trust Sam. And I know that that's gonna be my downfall, is I'll be too active talking to people, so I need to watch that. Oh, I have no idea, but I cannot even tell you how excited I am. Like, all of us are, like I was talking to Angela, and we're all just like here ready to play, and we're so ready, so excited to be here, so happy to be here, and like we're already all vibing, so I'm pretty excited about it. I don't even think I'm gonna need to worry about voting anyone out. So
about this because my friend Justin did this last year, and he told me that it was a blast. Well, our team got 2nd place in the challenge. Felt really good about that because we didn't have any stuff to make fire, so we got fire and we got a tarp, and I feel like we're in a good position. So I just had a good little fire log run with Colin, And I think we have a little mini alliance in the works. We've got Sam, Anthony, Colin, and then Sam is like the 5th because she was not in our original 4, but we're gonna bring in Angela because we don't think that she's gonna leave us, but we like that little 5-some we got. What happens tomorrow? I think there's gonna be a lot of challenges. I think there's gonna be some voting. I think we're gonna get people out of here quick and strategy begins.
Heard about the challenge on Reddit and also heard about it on a podcast that I subscribe to, and at the very last minute I applied and glad to be here. It's been really fun so far. Getting beat up and bruised and having the time of my life.
How did you?
Well, running through for the first challenge, running through the woods, apparently just in the moment of trying to catch up with everyone. I was the one that was lagging behind, unfortunately. Everyone else is younger and more fit. But nonetheless, just running through the stuff that you've got around here, you'll kind of get beat up on the weeds and whatnot. I feel like I connected more with the first 4 just because we've been together the longest, so to speak.
And who were they? Who were the first 4?
First 4 are Julia, Anthony, and Colin.
Okay.
And those are the 4 that I feel like I've connected with the most. Julia probably the most out of those. Of the other 4, Stephanie and I seem to have a good rapport. I also like Dwayne a lot too. I think that I think there might be something there.
Okay.
But I mean, I like everyone. I think that as far as, you know, personalities and so forth, it seems like there's a younger vibe there, which I'm not that young anymore. But I'm trying to show my value in other ways, as far as they've already dubbed me the Encyclopedia of Survivor. So I think that given that, I think how we did in that challenge with our group of 4, we're the second group that went, and we got it quicker and faster than they did, the first group. So I think from that perspective, you know, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. I am really surprised at how much these people don't know about this show and what happens with it. And I mean, I just think that as part of your preparation, you should watch what the previous seasons were. Know, you know, who are the previous folks that have participated. I can tell you, just based on the challenge, that Donna Martello, the Survivor dress lady, she's played before. She's here this time. And here's my thought on that. This is my game. This is my first time playing it. And while people like that can be useful, I don't want to see someone like that get to the end. And what I try to do is subtly tell folks that are, you know, like Julia, hey, you know, if you wind up over there, you need to know that this is a person who's played more than once. And I think that she agrees with that. Jen Carter, she was the quit from last year. She's here this year with the big orange flag. Again, you know, you had your chance. This is our chance now. And that's just kind of how I feel about it. We'll see how that all pans out, because I'm sure you're going to be put into the blender and mixed up and switched around and so forth, but we'll see what happens.
First heard about this actually through Facebook. I think I saw some post that popped up by Purple Kelly from a few years back. And so I actually just like messaged her through Facebook, and she said that like the signups had just closed for season 5. And so I applied for season 6, didn't make it, and then got on season 7. So happened tonight. Well, we got the fire going. We got the good camp with the fire already. So we did that. We got our tarp up. So now, you know, we're just getting to know each other, taking some time. I've been collecting firewood with a lot of people, just trying to get a good supply of that going. So I feel like things are setting up pretty well. Favorite is probably, right now, Anthony, I'd say.
Okay.
I feel like I got a good connection with him. We both started on Brown, and so I kind of want to keep that going. But I got kind of a group that seems like they'll want to be working together. So it's me, Anthony, Sam, Travis, and Julia is our 5 right now. So I'm hoping that everyone's on board. And Sam actually kind of approached me with that. So I feel like she knows kind of what she's doing. So I'm just gonna kind of follow that lead for now, I think. But I can't imagine that it's gonna be this group to the merge. I gotta assume some sort of swap will happen. So hopefully, if you know, some eliminations or anything like that happen before, that we'll just be able to keep our numbers intact, at least most of them, and then go into a swap with quite a few on our side.
So when I got here to talk about how we got here and all the different events, as I arrived, I got here too early. And I got turned around. They said 4:30 means 4:30, and I'm like, it's 4:15. So I got a lovely tour of the area, and when I came back, I got checked in. Luckily, I hadn't brought anything illegal, but they checked my feet, everything. Checked inside my shoes, checked my socks. And then we got sat into a car where we were told we were not allowed to talk. And then we were sent out on an adventure as we passed other cars going the wrong direction, and we thought, are they going the wrong direction, or are we going the wrong direction? And then we got evidently second place of when we were supposed to be there. So we got taken into the woods on a path, and then all of a sudden, no path. And we stood in the woods for a long time being chewed on by mosquitoes and waiting for all the other tribes to arrive. And we kept hearing, where's the other tribe? Where's the other colors? Where are they at? And finally, everybody was where they're supposed to be. And we were given a map and directions of what we were supposed to be going out and looking for. And we went the totally wrong way, thinking we were going to be amazing and go shortcutting and zinning through the woods, and we really screwed up. So we did not fare very well in collecting our items. When we showed up, I didn't read, and I grabbed a hold of a bag and went, what's this? And I felt like a pillow. And it said, if you've touched it, it's yours. And I was like, ah, shit. Pillow was sawdust, so great kindling for the fire, but at the same time you're thinking, we need a tarp. We don't need a bag of sawdust. So we were thinking we were really screwed as a tribe, and then we were very happily surprised that we were then united with another color tribe, actually the one we were waiting for and hearing on the radio, like, where are they? Well, they're who we ended up uniting with and becoming the tribe of Kia, and I think so far we've got a really great mix. I'm just trying to keep my mouth shut and not being the domineering personality that I am, because I'm always in control of everything in my life, and I always step up and take control, and I'm trying not to do that. Fortunately, I've already done that with the fire, but I'm trying not to talk. So I think so far I connected with the other people on my original blue of Lance, Sam, and I don't know. I mean, the younger kid, shit, I can't remember his name now. Not really. But then when we linked up with the other group, I thought I was the oldest person here, and then another lady latched onto me who was older, and I'm like, shit, I don't want to be the old ladies that are voted out early, so I'm trying to distance myself from her because she's trying to latch onto me, and I'm trying to hang out because everybody else seems to be in their 20s, and we're twice their age, it feels like. So I'm trying to just hang out and be fun and cool and hip and not the 40-year-old lady. So I think we're going to have a few challenges. I'm really hoping that we don't have any immunity challenges. I'm hoping we have reward challenges. But today we did have our first kind of reward challenge where we came together and we had 3 separate tribes instead of 6 different colors. And of the 3 tribes, we finished second. And first place was allowed to pick the first camp. Second place got the second, and then third got the leftovers. They chose the camp that had the tarp because they didn't have a tarp. Well, we were lucky enough that the people we joined had found the tarp whenever we came together with the brown and the blue tribe. So we were very lucky that they had a tarp, and then we had a bunch of sawdust. But then I noticed people looking at the bag, so I was thinking there was something like an immunity idol or something hidden in there. So I went to Sam, and then I went to Julia, thinking those 2 girls are who I should link up with because they look like they're gonna be strong in challenges. And I told them there's something in the bag. We need to get into that bag before the other people get into it. And then turns out there was an apple and an orange in the bag, but that's not a meaty idol, but hopefully it'll help us, give us some calories later on. But yeah, so we got a camp that had fire at it because the other ones chose the tarp, so we were really lucky because we didn't have a flint.